I'll walk straight down the middle of this creek. I spooked a little bird. I can't tell what kind it is. We're maybe 100 yards downstream of where the stream went underground. And another little bubbling brook that's joining in here. From the right end and from the left. Although the one to the left is dry. This is a deeper pool. It's dry. But here's our water back again. And there's too much water here to be fed just by that little side stream. First little substantial shelter that I've found. A little spring coming out of the rock here. The bluffs are becoming much more substantial, or rocky outcroppings, I should say. They're not really bluffs. The hillside is just full of wood sedge. The snow's almost completely gone. A little stream joining in. There's a lot of water flowing out of that guy. A little set of Cascade Falls. Following the side stream up, a pretty little section of cascades here. I like that one a little further up there where we drop. Little bitty falls, but it's pretty. Old Mr. Sun's come out now. Judging from the sky, he may be out for good. I like how the water is shooting out of that log. I'll never get a photo of them because I could only see the tops of their white tails. But there were at least 2 deer way up in the drainage up there that skittered off. Just downstream of that falls, there's another little stream that's joined in. And it looks worth exploring too. I'm gonna walk up this just a hair. Up above that last little cascade, two little streams are joining in here. Both of them were nice little cascades of their own. There's so much moss above all the greenery here. Another wonderful four-foot cascades here. I'm just following this on down. Well, this is the end of an era. Doesn't look that banged up from this side. Try to turn it on. That lens is working like crazy, trying to do something. Banged it pretty hard on the rock, falling in the creek there. If this video from here on out looks a little different, folks, because that last little clip of me following, I royally jacked up the lens on the camera. So that is the end of my beloved Canon point and shoot that I've used for 5 or 6 years now, and it's got an outstanding quality and video and photos from. First bluffs I've seen all trip. I'm hoping the stream to our right, or to my right, has the falls as a result of this. We'll walk around and see. So yes, this of course has a waterfall. The most impressive I've seen all day, and literally right after the camera play. And there appears to be a bit of a lower falls here too, so we're going to hike up and see the separate falls. That's a pretty one, alright. Next to the side drainage is clearly a blip on the topo map, and the bluffs have started up again. I'm way uphill from the main part of the stream. But I think I'm just going to stay on this side and follow this all along down, as long as these bluffs continue. These gorgeous little falls keep coming. The upper falls to that last little cascade. Looks like there's even another little spot up above it, but this is slick terrain. Too narrow for me, but that almost looks like a little cave or animals living in there or something. Maybe a little more substantial of an opening coming up here. All the caves in Bankhead and Tipsy are currently closed. Been closed for a long time now. Can't quite tell what this is. Oh no, that's a gap. Huh. And we've got us a giant sinkhole over here, folks. Cool. Here's where I came from. Huge boulder, rock outcropping. If you follow that up and turn to the left, that would be the gap in between the two walls. This huge rock is falling off the top of that there. Keeps on going. And the bluffs have kind of ended a bit, so I'm hiking back down the creek side. Only about another quarter mile or so to where I want to turn up, turn out. I might as well see if there's something interesting down here. I can see some cascades right there. There's this massive beech tree that's fallen. Some huge terrain change through here, folks. I'm going to walk over here and see these cascades. Well, I made it the rest of the way. For that, basically. Two interesting boulders here. Small little falls. It's all limestone through here. Interesting little channel that it's carved. This is an interesting kind of extreme version of the whole phenomenon where the rock gets wedged and moves around and wears a hole in the middle of the rock. And in this case, it's wearing the whole rock away. Huge crater-like things, and they filled with stuff that's fallen from downhill and whatnot. But that's the most impressive I've seen yet, this phenomenon. You can see the high water mark here along the creek edges, but outside of a heavy rain, this karst landscape, or at least in this section, it dwindles to almost nothing. Well, it's been a dry creek bed for about 100 yards or so now. A woodpecker in the background. I thought that the stream was coming out back there, but I was so mesmerized by the woodpecker, or whatever that odd sound was. It sounded like a cross between the woodpecker and a tree about to give way, that I kind of quit talking. And it's just as well, because the stream has never really reappeared. Still just kind of walking down the center of this thing. Except for the odd pools like this here and there. There's no real evidence of running water at all. Now here finally we've got some running water again. Just as a little side stream joins in from the right, but it looks completely dry. Keep following this on down. And we're back to dry creek walking again. Some slow go here. It's been a long time since whatever this old road was would have been in use. So to see this chainsawed is quite interesting. It's probably been a long time since it's been chainsawed. Creek's still all dry. It's starting to have a few other little fingers filter in. Past the little arbor with the initials WT, and you couldn't read the last name. The date looked like it said 1913. I'll have to analyze it a little bit better. A little bit, little rock outcroppings. A little bit more like the things you see around caves and in a karst landscape. We're about to tail into the little drainage here that I'm going to take out. I'm holding hopes that there's one last little waterfall waiting for me. Bit of an island cut between two very dry drainages here. The one to the right here almost seems like an overflow type channel. The banks are much more distinct than this one on the left. Interesting. Still no sign of water anywhere. Oh, what's that? Huh. Seems to be an old fireplace, maybe? If it's not an old chimney, I'm not sure what it is. Almost feels like it's on part of an old roadbed. The bluff is way uphill. And there's no evidence of anything else around. Very interesting. Absolutely massive spring. Maybe one of the largest springs I've ever come across in Bankhead. There's no evidence of a cave here. But look at all this water rushing out downstream. Just beautiful. Looking for a way across at this point. That little dry drainage is my way out. I was not expecting this much water from that old spring up there. I may have to backtrack just a little bit, find a way over. But that's at least knee deep, and that's moving pretty swift. Well, this is my ticket across the jumbo of boulders that I saw that was just downstream of the entrance of that huge spring up there gushing out. Downstream there's nothing. I took another little spill there off the camera. Right down to my hip. And this is the way out. So, wasn't too bad of a hit at least. This dry stream bed at least makes for easy hiking. Still holding out hope for one more waterfall. Now we got a little water back through the creek. A little bit of a cascade here. I'm just going to try walking up, I think. Let me go up here. Just the land, that's awful slick. Lots of limestone here. True to form, the waterfall is dry here in this karst environment. This whole jumble of rocks after a heavy rain would probably be quite scenic. But for now, there's nothing here at all. You can see where the drainage reaches the ridge up there. It's about at the end of this little journey. Still following the steep drainage out, and there's a little pool of water there, but other than that, so far nothing. But the boulders keep going, and so would I. If it just had a little more flow to it, it'd be coming off the edge of this rock here. It's done so pretty recently with all the rain and on down. There's one of those big swirly things with the rocks. You can grind it all out. For now it's just a nice little pool, little spring. Hard to tell from this video, but this is a sinkhole here. About 15 feet wide. It's not terribly deep, at least not on this end. Uphill a bit from where that falls was. And here's where the water disappears. Just one little pool there. A nice little gentle flowing stream up above it. Past a few more little sinkholes and whatnot.